One of my biggest pet peeves is dishonesty. I would much rather hear a painful truth than a beautiful lie. If you're going to lie to me, I would much rather we not even speak at all. That's how much I dislike dishonesty. That being said, it is the basis for the topic of this video. False allies. What is a false ally? A false ally is someone who claims to be a supporter of a marginalized or oppressed group and then withdraws their support the moment someone from that marginalized or oppressed group says something about their particular demographic. Let me give you an example. I am whiter than a piece of bread. I will never know what it is like to be black. Even when I am 6 feet under, I will never know what it is like to be black. I will always, always, always be white. And that is the heritage and the history and the context that I will be living in for the rest of my life. Hence, when a black person is talking about their experiences living as a black person in the United States or anywhere else in the world, that is not the moment for me to get my fragile feelings hurt if they call out white supremacy or white heritage or white privilege or just white people in general. When a black person comments on their life and how white privilege and white supremacy and white people have affected said life, if you get your feelings hurt because you're not one of those white people, you are not a real ally. A real ally would understand that the commentary is not a personal slight. The commentary is a personal experience, and it is something that needs to be paid attention to. Instead of having your feelings hurt if a black person is talking about their experiences with white people, maybe stop and instead think, am I guilty of doing the thing this person is talking about? Holy cow, I think I am doing that right now. Maybe it's time for me to adjust my behavior and stop doing the thing that this particular black person is complaining about. Simple as that. Instead, you have people who the moment a group they claim to support says anything disparaging about the community that said ally is part of, they wash their hands of them. That's it. They're done. Apparently, all that needed to happen was just one comment that they didn't agree with, and that's it. They're no longer allies. It happens all the time in the LGBTQIAP+ community as well. If I make a commentary as a pansexual woman about straight people, without fail, there will be at least one person who comes out of the woodwork to say, oh, but that's not right for you to say that. Not all straight people are like that. No shit. No shit. That comment was not directly about you. And if it wasn't about you, then you don't need to worry about it. And I've mentioned this before. Generalized comments about groups in power are not personal slights against individuals. When black people talk about what they deal with white people, when the LGBT community talks about what they deal with regarding straight people, going on and on and on. Just because they are talking about their experiences and how these very powerful systems are affecting their lives, it doesn't mean that's your opportunity to jump up and down and shake your hands and say, wait a minute, I'm one of the good guys. Nobody cares. You don't get a cookie for announcing yourself as an ally. Furthermore, it's not up to you to call yourself an ally. It's up to us to call you an ally. It's up to black people to consider white people allies. It's up to the LGBTQIAP+ community to consider straight people allies, and so on and so forth. You don't get to give yourself that title. That's not something that you automatically give yourself. That's something you have to earn, and you earn it by being there for us, by supporting us, especially when we're mad and upset about the shit that we have to deal with. You don't get to just name yourself that. It's not a title you get to put on your "my name is" card on your shirt. Put your money where your mouth is. Do the actions that speak louder than words and prove yourself as an ally. That's why I make videos like this. Not because I want cookies. Black people don't owe me a thing. I do these videos because these things need to be said. And I say these things specifically to cis-normative white people. They would much rather live in their little bubble of protection and not have to think outside of that bubble, so they can enjoy all the benefits of white privilege, all the benefits of cis privilege, so on and so forth, without having to worry about anybody else. Those are the false allies, the ones who are not willing to stick their necks out for the marginalized and oppressed. If I were to go out into my town and say these things, probably I would have a greater chance of surviving than a black person would for saying these things out in public. Because there's a lot of people out there with Confederate flags in my own town. And that's something I have to keep in mind. Don't be a false ally. Don't retract your support for us, for anyone that is in a marginalized or oppressed group, just because you're not one of those people. If you're not one of those people, prove it. Prove it. Put your money where your mouth is and prove it. If you enjoyed the video, please hit the little like button because it really does help, and subscribe for future uploads. If you've got any questions or comments, please put them down below in the comments section. Thank you so much for watching.